Tonight, verifying those questions around real IDs the day before new rules go into effect. I'm Colin Mayfield.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. Starting tomorrow, you will need real IDs to get into certain federal buildings and to fly domestically. Our Verify team is getting a lot of questions as we get closer to that deadline, too, like what happens if you don't have one in time, or will there be some sort of grace period?
WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg gives us some answers in tonight's Verify.
What buildings can you enter? Is there a grace period? And can I still get a real ID after May 7th? These are just some of the questions we've gotten into our Verify email. Today, we're verifying some of the most common questions you have surrounding real IDs. Our sources: U.S. Homeland Security, TSA, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Motor Vehicles. We got this first question from WCNC Charlotte viewer Will R., asking, if I don't have a real ID, how can I get into social service buildings or apply for food stamps? According to NCDHHS, to apply for food stamps, you can use a birth certificate or other government-issued ID. So there are other options to get food stamps. The NCDMV states that a real ID is not required for applying or receiving federal benefits. You do need a real ID to enter military bases, federal courthouses, federal prisons, and other federal facilities. We have a full list on our WCNC app of federal buildings where real ID is needed. The next question: will airports give a grace period if you don't have a real ID on May 7th? If you don't have a real ID, other forms of ID are accepted, like a passport. However, according to the head of Homeland Security, travelers who don't have a real ID or passport will still be able to fly. However, they may be directed to a separate area and may receive additional screening. And finally, is the deadline to get a real ID by May 7th? This is false. According to Homeland Security, you can get your real ID at the DMV anytime. There is no date that they will stop handing out real IDs. For more information on what you need a real ID for, we have all of that on our mobile app. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.